Imagine watching your hands crochet a lace skirt, watching your feet pad along a path, your voice singing, your thumb tapping songs on a glass screen, and never feeling like there is a you doing or not doing anything or nothing. Imagine the feeling that there are no separate things, no one thing being pummeled about by all other things, like being in a universe of ping pong balls, no longer feeling like this is a universe filled with razor sharp edges that all feel like barriers between your broken heart and a love light you just know must be there somewhere. Imagine knowing always that there is no other, more, better, or next, that what seems to appear is indeed always it. Wouldn't there be a seamless ease and an unspeakable quietude no matter what seems to appear, when all hope and fear and need of a never arising next is gone? Imagine no longer trying to change or fix yourself or others or the world, as you know without a doubt that life is, just as it seems to appear, utterly perfect. Imagine knowing that no one, including you, is the instigator of their thought, feeling, or action, and that life indeed does itself totally spontaneously. Imagine knowing and feeling always that there are no separate things or feelings or thoughts or movements, that there is no right or wrong way to feel or think or act or live or love or die. Imagine knowing you and everyone you love or have ever loved is a dream character in a play that no one wrote, that sings itself, that all measurement and dimension and time and love are made up. Imagine knowing that this life, just as it seems to appear, is the only life you can ever know, and there is no one who can escape. Imagine knowing deeply that although love and beauty arise only in the dream through your beautiful eyes, and that there are no others, you can only see your imaginary reflection in this love dance with others. Imagine that this vast emptiness you have tried to fill your entire life is true, that you are a flowing thought dream and are ultimately alone. Yet here you are, most magically appearing, dancing in the Grand Canyon of love. Some of these words will slide into boxes of the already known. Some may skip out of the grooves of habitual thought patterns and catapult you out of the assumption of knowing into an edgeless incertitude. Shadows flicker and swirl and cross, and through your feet, your face, your heart, in this dance without a center or edge, light and wind stream from everywhere, from nowhere, from inside and outside. There is no source to the echo that reverberates through your thought stream, as you are not separate from it. You cannot find separate thoughts, separate feelings, separate moments, or anything truly to hold on to, or any place to rest. You are the looking for certitude, the fear of unknowing, the fear of disappearing in this love dance with which you long to merge. You cannot merge with it, as you are it. You have never been separate from what's going on, this beautiful flow of life, this fleeting wind ballet that seems to embrace you and push and pull you along. You are the pushing and pulling, the trying to hold it, to capture it, to make permanent this magic that you sense lies behind your shadow. But there is nothing painting your reflection. No one fills your shoes and sweeps you across the dance floor. There is no floor to stand on, to dance on, or to lie upon when you die. You are the prism between the imaginary known and the unknowable, pouring color and light into the dream, flooding the pages of your story with love and beauty that disappear the moment these words paint you. Just like this, as it has always been, yet never was, nor ever will be. You are this ever-emerging, ever-wilting, blooming flower of life, feeling its own tender, vibrant aliveness through the symphony of perception and its inseparable recognition. Painted with watercolor tears in the river of song, written with sky in sky, with your very breath and heartbeat. Life sings you as you sing these very words within which you emerge. You come to me with your methods and practices you believe will lead to a peaceful mind. I say the quiescence of which I sing has nothing to do with if there are thoughts or not. I do not see you as the instigator of thought, feeling, belief, or action. I feel your longing for this silence, this hush, that you believe your practice will give you. You are this longing and the hush. You cannot find it anew. You cannot create it. All these teachers and teachings imply that they have something you do not, that somehow you are flawed. I do not see you as broken. They imply that there is a destination and perpetuate the painful belief in other, better, more, and next. All there is this edgeless, sweeping momentary. You know that. I see you as unspeakably beautiful, no matter what you seem to believe or think, and I weep that you cannot see this. No one can see their own beauty. Come closer, that we may bask in the beauty of each other's reflections, this imaginary space in between us, the only space we exist in. I'm not here to help you or heal you. I cannot give you anything or nothing. I cannot share this sublime emptiness, as there is no one who has it. I will not tell you more lies for you to weave into the wall of fear of unknowing that you are. A tiny box of shells, a room full of wind, acres of empty sky, refrigerator hum, sound of the sea laughing. How I long to send you an empty bottle of wind you can sail into a paper cup and drink this wondrousness that paints me, dips its brush into pools of echoes, and swirls color, tears, and blood into a river of reflections. Morning sleeps. Thought spins this night dream softly into daydream. Lyrical, fluted, transparent tapestries, weaving and unweaving themselves, skimming and diving and soaring, painting this shimmering aliveness. Edgeless colors melt into and through ephemeral, swirling iridescence, searing brilliance of dawn. I am liquid eyes and the waters flowing. I can only express what it's like after this profound shift in perspective, knowing that this is the dream as well, knowing that it can't be shared or kissed with words, and that there is no one with whom to share. But we can sit together on this bench under the tall pines, on the edge of the cliffs of this shoreless ocean, and gaze out together at the featureless sea, and marvel at the imaginary line where the sky kisses its reflection in blue. We can share the amazement and the unbearable, unspeakable beauty of life just as it is. The stunning, magical, and mysterious nature of life living itself, touching itself, kissing itself through us. We can feel the breath of sunset as it whispers in our delicate, tender hearts, and marvel that we can see our own reflections in each other's beautiful, beautiful eyes. Songs flow like the wind, creating light and shadow, and the river of our hearts swells and soars, touching all and everything with a love that cannot be caught. I was a seeker because of the pain, because of the giant hole in my heart, and I found out that I existed only as this most beautiful, sublime, tender, achy, breaky heart. All that I feared so much, the impermanence, the deep, deep feeling, the longing to feel all that love I was terrified to lose. The heartbreak, the overwhelming longing for something which I knew not, becomes most beautiful as it is truly no longer mine. My heart unraveled, the strings play silently, a symphony of one, of two, of many, of none, of love and love lost, of infinite tapestries, ever blooming, simultaneously wilting. It was the tender, delicate, sensitive wetness of my eyes that I feared, that all crying would kill me for sure. But it's like the tears were razors as they eviscerated me of any belief of substance, of permanency, of any place to land, anything to hold, and my fingers dissolved in tears of laughter, joy, sorrow, of awe. This unutterable, ferocious, terrifying, utterly naked emptiness filled every secret pore of my being, eviscerated me, ravished me whole, and ripped me inside out, pulled my heart out so that its very beating crushed me. Under that skin I so longed to lose, there was not even nothing. No one to be lost or found, confused or clear, awakened or asleep. So I found that pile of clothes by the bed and those old comfortable dancing shoes, and waltzed into the dream as life kisses itself through my lips, as life sings the ultimate love song of this life, this precious life, this splendid dream, lush and rich beyond measure. Sparkling aliveness breathes through me, as me, and my heart weeps at this intimate beauty, this infinite spaciousness wrapped, embraced in the kiss of wind, the sigh of starlight, the sailing, soaring, utter nakedness of life unowned. Awakening is the deepest, deepest intimacy. As your own love has ravished you, skinned you alive, and ripped out your heart, your love, and your life. All that's left is the dance of one, of two, of none. Streaming, moving, and standing, utterly still without a ground or goal or place to be. Singing vibrantly, silently, a mad, passionate dance of you, of me, of we. It is like love, this beautiful homelessness, this feeling of soaring, skinless as the wind, this vibrant, rushing, roaring, sublime perfection, breathing my heart song. Life and love continue to sail across a vast ocean of tears as the sunset reflects its beautiful oranges and reds on my skylined face. Never born, never dying, always born, always dying, always weeping. The longing to sing of this unbearable beauty, knowing it cannot be held or given away, to kiss what cannot be kissed, paints my imaginary lines in sky. As flowing light and wind and color slide through me as me, shine and shadow merge into a river of song. And oh, how can I fold this wonder into a bird and send it to you? How can I hold my beating heart as it flies into a million pieces of emptiness? How can I show you your infinite, intimate emptiness and your beautiful, breathtaking fullness? How can I show you that this precious life is not even yours? How can I give you a sip of the nectar of this beautiful unknowingness? How can I slide a moonbeam into a bottle and throw your love light across the sea of dreams? How can I touch you as you are none other than me? Yet a grand canyon divides us. This yearning to touch you, to sing of this paints this emptiness with a longing that sings me, such ineffable, infinite wonder. It is the rhythm of life that we share, the heartbeat of existence, this wondrous love. I cannot give you anything. I cannot give you nothing. Where would you put it? It's not that I know more than you. There is a delicious unknowing and no longer a need to know, to grasp or capture life. There is a vacancy where someone to know would be, a sublime certitude with uncertitude. I did not do or not do anything or nothing to have this happen. I have not achieved something or arrived somewhere. Awakening is truly an empty prize for no one. It's like winning the lottery without buying a ticket. and you hold out your hands to gather the prize, but the gold falls through them. Everything is gold. I have no instructions or counsel, as there is no right or wrong way to feel, to think, to believe, to act, and no chooser of these things, and no separate things to choose from. I have not escaped the dream of separation. I have not transcended my humanness. This is not a special state of bliss or joy or peace or love. Yet there is an indescribable sense of awe, a seamless ease, a sublime quiescence, permeating, saturating the dream of you, of me, of we. Overwhelmingly wondrous that there is not even nothing here or there, and yet all and everything so vibrantly, magnificently alive. This is an entirely different way to experience the dream, but yes, this is the dream as well. People ask me if I see as they do. Do I see the way I used to see? I look around, and although I cannot go back, I can say, well, my eyes, ears, all my senses seem to be functioning the way they did before the shift. But the feeling tone is completely changed, as there is never the feeling of any separate things or separate moments. There's never the feeling that someone is doing life, or that life is happening to a someone. The thought stream has changed quite a lot as well. There is no more constant self-judgment and self-correction, as I no longer see imaginary characters, including myself, as the instigators or being responsible or indeed separate from thought, feeling, sensation, or action. It feels like a wondrous, seamless, timeless flow. It was always that way. It was just never noticed. As it is always this way, there is nothing that can be done to make it anew. It's a constant streaming insight of the utter perfection of anything that seems to appear. There is no more hope or fear or need of other, better, more, or next. It is the end of all belief in belief. It is the end of all belief in meaning or meaninglessness, of belief in truth or false, purpose or non-purpose, freedom or non-freedom, or anyone to be free or bound. It is the complete end of the belief that there is something to attain or someone to attain it. It is life full on, unabashedly naked, feeling everything deeply, yet somehow impersonally. Like being in a movie, a passion play that writes and erases itself, and watching it at the same time. The utter indescribable beauty of life doing itself. But I am not a guru nor a teacher, just a lover of love. I try to carve a window in my chest, so when you look inside, you don't see a heart-shaped mirror. You see only your unutterable beauty. I can only try to describe what it was like before, what happened, and try to sing of what it's like now, after this profound, permanent shift in perspective. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. I'm not trying to change your beliefs or erase them. I know that you are not the instigator of your thought, belief, feeling, or action, and that you and I and all thingness are simply a beautiful, flowing thought dream. I'm not trying to change you or the world. I know that you are unutterably beautiful just as you think you are, and that no one, nor the world, is broken. Some words may resonate, some may not. Some may sound similar to others who have experienced this shift, and some may not. Many of my songs may skip the habitual thought patterns out of the usual groove of assumed knowing, and leave the mind hanging with nowhere to go. Some love this feeling of sensuous lostness. Others don't. Awakening is not a belief or understanding or philosophy. There is nothing to get and no one to get it. There are no things to understand and there is no one to understand them. No place to arrive and no one to arrive. I feel the pain of seekers deeply, as I was once desperately looking for what I knew not, an end to the pain. And I see seekers mouthing the words of teachers that simply perpetuate the painful illusion of separation. And, well, I sing. In this great battle, no one fights or wins or loses. Blood is spilled, hearts are lost, bones are buried under the midnight moon, and the wind blows the ashes, and the grasses grow, and the long-stemmed flowers, lanterns in the summer sun, wave in the wind, softly tearing the gentlest of hearts, this unsung beauty that ripped apart all ideas of love, this love that conquered all ideas of love, of beauty, has no words, yet is all words. I did not win this kiss of wind that blew my heart into the pyre. I did not climb the mountain as it crumbled into the sea. The tsunami of love crushed all and everything. Even these hands that type these words are not mine. This life never had a name. Shall I speak of it without one? My mouth holds its vowels round and juicy. My breath, my lips sing. I love you, I love you, I love you. Love stretched out her hand. It was no longer an invitation ignored. There was no longer an option to run away from the giant hole in my heart or join in the dance. She grabbed me and flung me off the rocky cliffs into the vast sea below, just in time for the tsunami I had felt was coming my entire life. I feared it and longed for it. There was no going back. There was no back. What is it that defines you? Where is the line between you and the wind? Your skin? Your thoughts? Are they your thoughts? Are these thoughts you? Are there separate thoughts? Is there a little guy in there that is looking for these answers? Or are you the looking? What kind of answers do you expect? Where did you get? Who gave you the idea that there are any answers? Looking for meaning, for life to make sense, for a purpose, through spirituality or philosophy or science is what defines you. The belief that there is an understanding to reach is what defines you. What would you be without all of these ideas of something other or better or more or next? What would you be with all of your ideas about enlightenment or God or purpose or meaning? What would happen if you realized that there is no understanding, no certainty at all, that no concept or philosophy you have ever read will ever capture this magic that you know is here, that you are a magical illusion composed of concepts, yet has no words or concepts, that you have no solidity whatsoever, that all solidity is mentally fabricated, and that all ideas of this and that are made up, including you. Not even void or emptiness or infinity come close to this greatest intimacy that you have been fending off with words and ideas. For enlightenment is the greatest intimacy. There is no line between you and the wind. There is no line between inside and outside. There is no inside and outside. It is only these very words, these thoughts that are like razors, which seem to slice up endless sky. When there are no words left, when there are no concepts left, when there is no more longing to know or to capture the magic, it is all magic. And the magic is you. You find yourself drifting through the dream as the dream dreams you, and mountains and clouds and endless sky, and lovers dancing under a moonlit night. When all and everything is gone, suddenly all and everything is here, and it all feels like love, a lover's dance, of one, of two, of many, of none. The biggest myth about enlightenment is that it happens to you. Well, if one of the things that happens in enlightenment is that it's realized the person is imagined, how could this happen to an imaginary character, you? What if nothing can be known simply because there are no things? What if there is no one who can step outside of what is going on, as there are no edges, no outside, no inside to what is going on, and truly see the whole picture? What if there is no whole picture? What if the only way to make the physical world knowable would be to divide it up into imaginary parts? What if one of those imaginary parts was you? What if you were the longing to understand or know what's going on? The looking for meaning or purpose or your place in the world when you are not separate from it? What if all it's were made up? What if the feeling of lostness, of emptiness, of unknowing could never be filled with all of your imagined knowing? What if even this paragraph was simply more words seemingly separating what cannot be split apart, has no edges, and is not a thing? What if all explanations, all description, all words and concepts just point to more words and concepts, weaving an imaginary web of knowing? And this assumption of knowing was you. Self is that imaginary web of knowing, the dream of objectified separation, the longing to capture what seems to appear, to understand, and the belief that by some force called personal volition, there can be an understanding, a point of certainty, and that there are separate things to understand. Awakening feels like losing your mind, and it is terrifying, as you are a product of the mind stream, and this thought stream creates the known or fabricated world. It is like losing all that you know, including the idea of a knower. It feels like you are dying, that your world is dying, that time is dying. And for the very few who fall all the way, there is not even nothing left. Bit by bit, or all at once, the illusion of separation is no longer believed or felt. It doesn't mean you disappear or stop feeling. The dream of illusion is the only world we can know. There is no outside to the dream, no inside. It's simply always known that all separation, you, me, love, is illusion, impersonal, surreal, yet felt deeply, and somehow realer than real. This ripping apart of belief in illusion hurts like hell, as that is what you are. It's like you are skinned alive, and there is nothing under the skin. I sing these words so that I may lie inside of you and feel your softness dance, a bud, a flower, a song. Roots reach through the soles of your feet, flourish in the fathomless depths of unknowing. Branches extend through your fingertips into sky. Sky reaches down and swallows you. Petals flutter in your heart, waiting for the sun to rip you naked. I love your beautiful clothes that no one is wearing. Just this yellow mug, steam curling like hands combing through and cradling space. Morning streams over the canyon ridge, kisses the tall pines and the finches gathering at the feeder. Poems are my love songs, skipping stones across the sea. I am in love with the ripples. There are no true words. True, a word like pure. Hanging moonlight on a pine tree. Words are ladders to the stars. Stars are words. Small suns. Light, a word. Words create the darkness and a person who wants to climb out of it. All words have been spoken. Countless mouths have moved like mine. My lips kiss the sun and moon. My heart swallows the sky. Love is a word that fills the world, pouring letters through the gap in your door, left unanswered on the floor of your heart. Oh, the stamps are so beautiful. They smell like lightning in the dark. They sound like a symphony that no one wrote. They feel like sounds boomeranging through this emptiness. A love dance awaits. I don't know how belief in thought ends. It's not belief in thought only, it is the belief in belief that ceases in the brain. There is no one to attach or disattach. It feels like endless knots untying, like the strings that held the sun and moon and you into place dissolving, like the inside and outside of a bubble merging, pierced by love's arrows. The skin, the teeth, the eyes, the blood, the bone, the marrow of your existence ripping apart. An unraveling of endless fairy tales about who you are and what the world is like, until there is not even nothing left, no reference points whatsoever, no things nor non-things, no goal to reach, no path to tread, no ground to land on, no one to land. Yet you remain, a beautiful swirling iridescence, colors sliding on the surface of a bubble, dividing the universe into imaginary inside and outside, painting love and beauty into the dream. Knowing you are the dream makes it all the more wondrous. It seems that most spiritual teachers and seekers are the assumption that there is something to find, some goal or place to arrive, like finding a true self or timeless awareness or pure consciousness or God. There is a mostly universal belief that there is something, somewhere, solid and unchanging. This path to God or wholeness or enlightenment is described and often prescribed as giving up or letting go or accepting or surrendering to what is going on. Often when the self is seen to be a made-up story, the stark, terrifying blankness of no self is filled in with ideas like a true unchanging self. Awareness or consciousness or love are comforting concepts to fill in that emptiness. It seems it is rarely recognized that there are no things whatsoever. I cannot say how this recognition arises. Certainly I never did anything or nothing to make this happen. It obviously did not happen to me. This ultimate collapse of everything and nothing is not an achievement and cannot be contrived, as there never have been separate things or moments or events. This is merely seeing what has always been, life doing itself, looking and feeling like anything at all. An unbelievable seamless flow without edges, nothing confined, nothing to be fettered or set free. Although it felt like dying, it was realized that there was never anyone to die. Time is felt to be illusion. It always feels like the first and last kiss. Such seamless beauty of no thingness, and all and everything spontaneously arising, continually blooming and wilting without space or time, naturally perfect without perfection or imperfection. Life and love flow through me as me in this love ballet without a center or edge or goal to reach, neither moving or non-moving, without direction or non-direction, without place or placelessness. No words can grasp or kiss this knowing feeling that has no words, as all words seem to divide what cannot be split and has no sides, no time, nor timelessness, no space, nor dimension, nor measurement. Enlightenment cannot be achieved by any method or path, as it does not happen to the imaginary person. It cannot be learned or taught. It is not a belief or understanding. It cannot be transmitted, as it is not a thing. I do not have this sublime emptiness, and I cannot give it to you. It is not about letting thought and feeling flow, or going with the flow, as there is no one to let thought and emotion flow. There is only the flow, neither moving nor stable. There are no things to be permanent or flowing. All efforting, or trying to not effort, perpetuates the painful illusion of separation. Yet the beautiful illusion of self and thingness, of love and lover and beloved remain, as no one can exist as a non-self. Simply the belief and feeling of separation has vanished. This is more wondrous than any dream come true. I could never have wished for this, as it is quite simply unimaginable. I see seekers trying to get a goal that they imagine enlightenment to be, like realizing it is all a dream, not really realizing that that would include them, or trying to let thought and feeling flow, not realizing that thought and feeling, and indeed life itself, simply flows as it does, including trying to let it flow. I see seekers trying to accept what is going on, not realizing that this perpetuates the painful illusion of separation, not realizing that trying to accept it is not accepting it. Mostly, I see seekers trying to get rid of themselves, and I weep, as the self is the most wondrous gem in the universe. Just as you are right now, without any effort or non-effort, you are beautiful beyond compare. First crow, last crow. Once tasted, this flame lingers on your lips, your breath, your arteries and veins, burns your blood, surging with the tides. Everything is pulled into this conflagration. Spring sighing in its promise of warmth, long summer nights clothed in whispers of moon. Autumn colors are sucked into this bonfire of love. Winter trees, naked limbs reach for sky, weaving flowing lace traceries, lines and spaces flow into each other. Sky burns, ashes falling, down falls up, distance surrenders. Time swallows itself. Is it the wind or is it you that sails through midnight? I can see the scars of love in your eyes, shining with tender, piercing brilliance, weeping for the love of it all. Love's pyre claimed everything. All your plans, your past, your beautiful rings and raiment, your skin and blood, even your beautiful nakedness. Empty hands cannot hold your magnificence. They brush right through you. No ashes are left to blow away in the wind. Light is too small a word for this light. This love that cannot be spoken sings your name, paints your cheeks with tears, smiling, weeping, reflecting October skies. Brushing my hand across the water, never caught the morning. Reflecting love's beauty, my eyes light the sun. I am a mirror of cloud reflections, of love's kiss upon the day. One car on the distant road, headlights on the canyon wall. From where to where can anyone travel? Memories sink into the slipstream of words. Whirlpools of echoes swirl your reflection. Eddies cannot hide this sublime melancholy. Not lost, not found, dark in light, light in dark. Moon left her shadow under the fallen leaves, deep in the garden, under evening's footsteps, where I lost the path to midnight. This trail of words follows itself, leaving only its shadow upon the page, dissolving in its own light, light a word, word a word, love a word. There was no one to lose or set free. No one wandered, intoxicated with the evening, falling into its own shadow. Naked trees adorned with moonglow, clouds swallowed the light and the rain. Such a sensuous lostness, no longer needing to be found, and yet I catch a glimpse of my own beauty in your scintillating, loving eyes. Reflections slide through reflections. There were never any sides to the mirror, nor a middle, but there is a window, a barrier, a flowing net of words. As we are these imaginary lines, we can never truly touch. How beautiful these tears that reflect the song of moon, of love and love lost, and love remembered, weaving the fabric of our being. There really are no words for this, but love seems to work fine. Midnight rain, autumn dawn, through the window, the scent of fallen leaves. Vast, endless road is empty. No one wanders. All is home. Clad in autumn flowers, the scent of no tomorrow. Cloud-hewn sky. Wind slides through wind, through this flesh, through these bones, through these words that sing of wind as wind sings me. Heart-beaten clouds, ravished by memory, dissolve into sky. Rain, tattered tears, flow into the seascape painted on the window. Colors run through the gathering rainbow, falling gently through the canyon, through these eyes, through this heart, through this love of all things. And love turns around and falls into and through its own empty arms, weeping. Autumn clouds, morning hides, fallen petals, hold no color. Naked stems bow, mirror memory on the icy pond. I watch steam from my tea take the shape of flowers and dissolve into my reflection in the window. What hides in this drop of dew melting on the empty branch? What was never lost cannot be found. Strangely familiar, this song of mourning, the loss of everything and nothing that sings me. Autumn rain, I cannot see your tears, wetness everywhere. The sound of weeping far, far away, and the feeling that tears were happening to a me got closer and closer until there was no distance, no here nor there, nor in between. Smiles and sorrows merged, the ghost that carried them dissolved. Hunger and fullness slid into each other, into an ecstatic love dance where the stars in my eyes, in everyone's eyes, and the lights in the midnight sky shimmer in this heart of echoes. They are the tears of beauty and wonder reflecting on the evening tide. No one wanders the empty beach through the dunes and depressions. No one leaves these footprints that no longer go in circles. Yet I watch my feet know exactly what to do as I run with the wind. I am the wind. And she danced with her shadow on the canyon walls, in love with the light flowing in, around, and through her fingers, her hands, her arms, her twirling body as she dissolved into liquid sky. In this dream within a dream within a dream, there are endless reverberations of reflections, of reflections, of reflections. Echoes swirl into and through each other, lost and found in a sideways glance, not forgotten nor remembered, only ever this dream, falling through itself, this wind ballet of wind in wind in wind, this love dance pirouetting into itself. Calling and answering, answering and calling, there are no questions or answers, simply words strewn across the canyon like stars flowing across the river of sky. There is nothing being reflected in these pools of ancient wonder, nor anyone in the canyon singing love songs and watching them dissolve. She is the kiss of madness, of memory, of sliding scales and atemporal rhythms, of afterimages of moonglow, of sunglow, of rippling water colors painted with starlight on the shimmering, dancing stream. Transparency self releases into transparency and folds back into itself, and no hands have ever held the moon, yet its reflection shines in your eyes. And no one has ever found or lost love or held it in the palm of her hand. It is apparent everywhere and nowhere. In this vacancy of time and space and emptiness, love sings and listens to your heartbeat as it answers, like this, like this, like this. River of song, river of tears, river of stars across the night sky. Through my shining shadow, dancing in a heartbeat, no space between my heart and you. A stone in my heart, in my mouth, so cold. Love melts hard consonants, trying to roll the vowels with my tongue into a sound that could not weep, aching for tears that would not stop. Tears and their wetness were never separate. Mountain springs and creeks trickling through wandering meadows, pouring into deep, deep canyons, aching for the sea. The heart of the earth melts ice and rocks. In the deepest, darkest chasms, love grows. Hush before dawn, even the crickets sleep. Young girl across the street starts her car. Pale, cold moon. I watch my reflection in the window, light sparkling in the mirrored glass, caressing my face and the softness of water. Unhindered luminosity prevails, supersaturating all and everything. There is only this precious, indefinable momentary, indivisible, without edges or center, pure, clear, naturally self-arising and self-releasing. All perception and its inseparable recognition arise unfettered, ungraspable, amazing. Love's natural radiance is primally clear and obvious at all times. Flawless, stainless brilliance is inherent and in all thought, all sight, all sound, taste, touch, sensation, and feeling. There are no mistakes, nor anyone to make them. The intense lushness of this indivisible momentary sings itself, blooming and wilting without end or beginning, flowing without movement or non-movement. This lustrous openness cannot be ignored. It is super complete in all appearances and inseparable from them. This wondrous aliveness is always on. Open sky-like vastness perfumes day and night, like sky in sky, light in light, space in space. Love's gaze self-illuminates all and everything. Your face, your tears, your beautiful, beautiful tenderness, precious beyond measure. All the riches of the world cannot compare to this wondrous treasure you seek. You cannot find it, nor not find it. You and it are not separate. Feeling this aliveness is it. Love sees itself through your eyes and weeps at its own beauty. Tears have no name nor number. Love, sorrow, joy, awe. I watch light sparkle and shadow dance, and colors merge into rainbow astonishment. Around and through my hand as it reaches into sky. Wind flows through me, and I am the wind, and this flowing carpet of dancing, falling leaves, swooshing into dramatic kisses with their shadows on the trail that no one walks, not even empty footprints. No one wanders looking for a place to rest, looking for a home. Home is infinite, centerless, and even infinity, too small a word, for seamless spaciousness adorned with colors and tears and smiles and love. And I weep, and it is beautiful, love and love lost. Even though you may live, your death is a beautiful part of me. Love is like missing someone, and it all feels like love to me. In love as love through love, a wind ballet of wind in wind. I keep reading about those who are trying to empty themselves to receive God's love. This is pure, clear, and ungraspable. There are no hands to erase hands, no light to erase light, no song to erase words and music, no lullaby to lure you into where you already are, what this already is, unstainable, edgeless fluidity without time or measure. Yet the heartbeat, all this and that, the aliveness you feel is known because of the duality you have heard is somehow bad. It's a love song, and you are the love, the lover, and the beloved. And it may sound lonely, but it becomes a sublime aloneness. There are endless tears, such amazing beauty, the beauty, the beauty, the beauty. All and everything known to be pure fiction. This passion play of one, of two, of many, of none. A hologram of this and that, a magician's tale, a thought dream painting a universe of separate things and time, and lovers spinning across the dance floor that dropped away long ago when love had you pinned. She slaughtered you and pulled out all you thought you knew, and burnt the dregs as the winds. The winds blew away all signs that there had been a dancer, and a lover, and a dreamer of things to come. Yet here we are, dancing. Is night the loss of day, and morning the loss of night? Where does the moonlight go after it illuminates the garden path, and your feet walking, and your heart sinking into this very silence that ravishes all ideas of a goal or a path or someone walking, first crow, last crow? Here we are loving each other, an infinite array of color, knowing there are no separate colors, of swimming thought streams, of shared learned words. Light and shadow itself are simply description. How wondrous. I watch my thumb on the screen type I love you, and it's all a swoon, swooning through itself. And is this not a lover's dance? Pools of moonlight in your hand, in your eyes, in your heart, is its vanishing. Its empty breath paints the garden, wet with rain and fallen leaves. Tears for no one, tears for everyone. This beauty, this beauty, this beauty that has no words is a word. This love, this love, this love that has no words is all words. Taste, touch, sight, sound, joy, love, sorrow, despair. Every word is love touching itself through your eyes, your heart. This heart that beats one beat, one kiss, one breath. This very breath, breathing itself, is the song of love. Can you hear it? In the fading of moonlight's gaze into darkness. Windflowers' petals fall softly, spider web of moonlight, footfalls on the sidewalk.